Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is the Bomba right here on your Boom Radio NG. My name is Olajolupo and I bid you a warm welcome from our studios right here in Lagos, Nigeria. My name is Olajolupo again, and we're going to be having quite a number of conversations today. It's safe to say that most of our conversations will be about the death of two very interesting people, death of two friends who apparently passed on the same day, were very, very illustrious children and men of Nigeria. So we're going to be talking about that a lot today, really. It's going to be a lot of that, a lot of reactions, a lot of their life and times, and all that, you know. We're going to be doing a lot of that today at the bar. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Also, as usual, NDLEA, you know, and their usual bust and things that they do. There's updates from Wimbledon, the people that won that over the weekend, the Club World Cup, you know, and all that, and a bit more right here on Boom Bar. So we're going to be talking about that. But with me in the studio today, I'm not alone today. Today has me with the usual Shala Rogers and Mr. DJ Bami.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Kilo Shala.
What is a Mr. DJ Bami? Like
that's what I call you whatever I feel like calling you today. Take it or leave it. If you're not careful, I will turn off your microphone.
Mr. DJ Bami.
Thanks.
Sorry.
I turn you tough.
Sorry. Some people will say some people are stressing them, but they are the kings of stress. But it's a matter for another day.
I will turn off your microphone. There's nothing you're going to do.
So, Mr. Shoda, please let us behave ourselves.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Kile means me and Mr.
Behave yourself.
Behave yourself.
Behave
okay.
yourself.
Mr.
Thank
Behave
you
yourself, Rogers.
Please.
I will.
We're in a very somber mood in this studio and in Nigeria at the moment. So please.
I think you should speak for yourself when you say you're in a somber mood, and I say that loosely. I have seen people celebrate. I've seen people jubilate. I've seen people. You see, it's different strokes for different folks. The mood of the nation officially is in the mood of mourning, but I've actually seen people be like, you know what, it is what it is. It's gone and all of that. I've seen some vile comments.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I have
Angry,
seen
annoying comments.
Yeah, well, I've seen people express themselves one way or the other.
So on that note, for people that do not know, which is be shocking if you don't know now, because as far as India, they now know that the immediate past president of Nigeria has died. It was announced yesterday that he died yesterday afternoon. And while, you know, a lot of people were still having those reactions and all that, late last night, there was also the announcement that the longest serving monarch in Nigeria and maybe arguably around the world has officially passed on as well, the Awujale of Ijebu-Ode. And interestingly, they're really close friends.
Yeah. You know, the funny thing about yesterday, July the 12th, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it's also Wole Soyinka's 91st birthday.
Yeah.
You get, and that's what I woke up to, like, I need to craft a message and put it out and all of that for Wole Soyinka. And somehow I never got around to doing that. And boom.
They shook it.
You know? And the source that put out the news about Buhari is an incontrovertible source, you know, Garba Shehu.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, Garba Shehu last week launched his own book. And Buhari was not there. As at that time, Buhari was in hospital in London.
Yeah.
And as at that time, some people said he was already dead. They started putting out...
Even before, even just after...
They've killed that man many times, yeah.
Even just after when he left government, left power, he's always been in and out of...
Just after, remember when he was there that he was Jubrila?
No. As in, the frequency in which he goes and comes now is even more than when he was in power.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I was gonna pick out something. Yeah, I might be wrong. It might not be the time and place, but does it actually speak well that a former president, as recent as the immediate past president, was ill and he died in a London hospital?
Well, it's so ironic and so painful that it's one of those things we see in this part of the world called Africa, and Nigeria as a country, and it's so shameful because you can hardly hear other countries having their president being flew to another country, or is always going in and out like tourism, medical tourism, which is part of our budget. Disclose or undisclosed. No. Truth be told, whether you want to accept it or not, in Nigeria we have medical tourism bill undisclosed. Because if that fund and that facility was not there, why they always, you have headache, you're in France. You have ulcer, you're in India. Then your throat is doing some, instead of you to just buy common, I don't want to call the name of the product. Yeah. They're already in France.
Ambulance on standby.
So you know what? It's very, very, like you said, it is
I know the
embarrassing.
most painful thing. Why would a former president, die in a London hospital when he was in power? Over $200 million was spent on the FCT clinic, the Aso Rock Villa clinic or something.
You even say that maybe because he's no longer in power, but you would have thought
but
that
if he's no longer in power, he's just an immediate past president. So
not even Aso Rock.
There's still an immunity for him to have access.
I don't even think that it's even
facility.
a matter of Aso Rock. I think it's a matter of the fact that we do not have hospitals. Maybe we do, or maybe it's a status thing. Do you understand? The fact that it is okay for an immediate past president. Now, why I'm also saying why is making this much conversation also is the fact that now he was supposed to be back today and he was supposed to be buried today. The governor of Katsina state has now announced that he's going to be buried tomorrow because he's not landing until tomorrow. There's a bit of paperwork and all that has to be sorted. And he's not landing until noon tomorrow. So his funeral is happening tomorrow in Daura.
So, funny thing is that
you're off camera.
What's his name? Ayo Fayoshe's very vocal brother actually made a video, Isaac, the day before. And he was referring to another former Nigerian leader, a former military ruler, and Buhari. It is actually said, I think it's public knowledge that Abdul Salami, the man that gave us democracy eventually in 99, is also ill in London.
Yeah. But it was said that he was one of the people that went to see Buhari first. So it's obvious it was in London because I remember
there's a video of someone, I'm not sure it was him, but someone was being helped to cross the road. He had a walking stick.
So because a few days before, which really maybe the vice president should have stayed a few days. I think about 2-3 days ago, there was actually an announcement that the vice president went to see both of them in London.
So again, where I was going to with that is that it just reiterates what you guys raised and what someone like Ayo Fayoshe's brother Isaac Fayoshe raised and what we've always talked about. The truth is that we need to be in a situation where we have fixed all these problems.
Yeah.
And there's a Yoruba saying that the person that tells you that is going to give you comprehensive health and medical services is going abroad for treatment. Now, I saw one of their influencers write something about how, for privacy reasons and how people would pry and blah, blah, blah. And I said to myself, okay, strong point. That people could go and leak your information, and strong point. But you see, when they have, sorry, it's not like I agree, but it is a strong point.
Okay.
But when they're having those parties in Aso Rock, you cannot gain access.
Of course.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So why can't they build that kind of structure
System.
also
But
and system?
but a former president, the immediate former vice president, had a surgery in this Lagos now, and nothing happened.
Exactly. You understand? When
I think also it boils down on personal preference.
But I think it's actually nonsense. It is nonsense. Your personal preference, if it's your personal preference, then don't become president of Nigeria. Be a private citizen and do as you wish. You can't say that you are doing personal preference over taxpayers' money. Nope.
And
it don't work.
And again, I think it's because we don't have that structure of disciplining and punishing those
Who do that?
who have bad behaviors for that. Because it's ironic and so painful that I could remember a scenario of a governor, I don't want to mention the name, that claimed he built a world-class hospital, and
then he had an accident.
God in his infinite mercies granted him an accident that would warrant him to be taken to that same hospital, but instead he was flown out. And yet you claimed you built a world-class
hospital.
And as I tell you today, that building and that facility is in a sorry state.
Wow.
It's such a very sad thing.
We need to get to a point where African leaders are serious about
and being held accountable.
Yeah, that if you say that this is what you've done or what you're going to do, and I said something before Buhari became president. I said if in 8 years Buhari cannot fix Nigeria's health sector to the point where other African presidents would even say they are going to Nigeria for treatment instead of France or Russia or Germany,
and I
or
think
UK.
That's what this guy is doing in Burkina Faso right now.
It's going to be a very sad. That guy has too much propaganda. I know they believe that guy.
I think there's a lot of propaganda
too much lies on that guy's matter. To be honest.
Anyway,
but,
the one I cannot see, there's no evidence.
As it is, I think I'm interested in going to Burkina Faso.
Please do.
I think you should. At least, I would like to even hang a camera around your neck and you'll be doing live feed. We'll be seeing it live because I have seen different angles to this Burkina Faso story, right? And okay, like for instance, they said it's paid all debts. But if you go and check, they just borrowed money last month. They're borrowing, sentiments and opinion versus facts. Because there's facts and there's opinion.
Definitely.
And opinion is driven by sentiment.
One is by structure, one is by emotion.
Sure you get. So, and again, emotion always overrules a lot of things. Not knowing that fact is the ultimate.
And it will still stay.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry for diverting us to that health angle. I just wanted to point that out. But let's now go back to the original gist that really Nigeria is mourning a former president that has been president twice. It was head of state. He had the opportunity to be head of state. He had the opportunity to be former
democratic president,
a military president, and a democratic president. There are not a lot of people. I think I think it's just him and Obasanjo that had the privilege to do that. So it's a lot. He was also petroleum minister. So I actually wanted us to talk a bit on the life and times of President Buhari. There's been a lot of reactions. A lot of people have said a lot of things, sometimes some good, some bad. Even political parties, of course, the APC said they're shutting down the secretariat for 3 days for mourning. Also, the new coalition party, ADC, has also come out to say that they're shutting down everything they're doing for 3 days in honor of death of the former president, the immediate past president. So let's really look at it. I'm not sure. I was not even alive. I'm not even sure my parents had met when Buhari was head of state.
They should have.
Don't be too. When was this?
Yeah, it was 83.
83.
I'm sure they haven't. I'm very sure they haven't. That's what I'm very sure about. Anyway, so
at least regardless that we are babies, then
just say that at least one person here would have been very much, very much in the know
what are you trying to say
of those very much. I'm just saying we are dealing with facts here.
At times, let's use sentiment. At times, let's be using sentiment for this thing. There are times for sentiment.
So,
is every time we'll be using facts?
We're fact-based here.
I know.
We are fact-based.
Can't we look the other way?
Yeah, we're not.
Once in a while.
So, as the person that experienced Buhari in his when he was head of state,
yep,
what would you say about him then?
To be very honest with you, right, I remember very fondly the fact that there was a particular thing called WAI.
Discipline.
You know.
Oh, you two were around then. Oh wow. Okay.
Babyface, don't feel deceived.
Oh, okay.
You know, so
let's have it. Now we can have a proper discussion.
I remember that under Buhari, you know, when
there are women in those days that will just grab you if they see you on the street as a kid.
You could not pee on the street, though. You cannot throw garbage or trash on the streets. You cannot rush buses. You must queue up anywhere. Even in the eatery, anywhere you go, you would have to queue up. In school, I remember that then prices were fixed. My favorite part of Buhari's government was how you had to put the price of an item on the produce or product, and if you sell it above that price, you'll be reported to the commodities board. Then they will come there. You know, they had a task force then that will come to that shop and now start selling all your products at the normal recommended price. Recommended retail price became a thing during Buhari's time. I saw that. And that's why if you're going to sell, maybe biscuit was supposed to be 10 naira and they sell it 10 naira 50 kobo, back babe, it's gone. The shop will be sold and they will now give you your change that this is the amount of things. And it was done by the military with, it was nice. You know, so people would keep to the prices and everything. It was draconian to a lot of people. I remember how we were riding.
I think that was when yellow fever was established also.
Yeah, they were around then. I think they've been around longer than that, but that's when they became really strong. And I remember one day we were driving down Ikorodu Road. My dad was taking us out, and we saw people doing frog jump. And it was because they crossed the road. You get, so you can't cross the expressway. You cannot pee on the side of the road.
Will catch you now.
You they play why those white brigade? If they catch you, those guys were wearing white and green. If they catch you like this, you are gone. You know, you know. So you cannot jump traffic. There were not many traffic lights then anyway, but it was just majorly based on discipline. But what people don't understand that period,
even that time, police were not yet wearing black and black.
No, they used to have the blue on. But you know that picture used to change, but it wasn't black and black. It was the light blue on a dark blue or black.
Because I can't remember the
shorts
color of
and trousers. You get. So it was around that period that things were really, really strict, and the person that people feared the most was not even Buhari.
He's the vice president.
It was Ijebu-Ode.
He's second in
It was
command.
Tunde Ijebu-Ode. Everybody was like, that man is hard. He's ash and everything. And that's how we rode. That's how we lived.
That's how we rode.
And it was a good time. Education, books. There was a list of books, and you would take those things and you would get the books that as recommended by the government. And that's what happened under Buhari's military era. Of course, it was overthrown after a few months. It was around that period that they also changed the naira. I remember it was a period when we were burying my grandpa in Ondo. And yeah, it was in December, and they had just changed the naira, and people didn't know. So some people were spending 20 naira. I think 20 naira was the highest denomination then. I don't think we had 50 naira then. And people were spending 20 naira thinking it was 1 naira, or vice versa. I remember those things vividly.
Okay, so if we go from that point now and then juxtapose it to when he was president between 2015 and 2023, would we say there was a sharp contrast? And why I said so is a lot of things were not probably known to a lot of people until after he left presidency. You know, and I think that what happened was when he was coming in, there was a perception that we're going to see the exact same thing that happened when he was head of state.
I was not expecting it.
No, maybe not you. I think it happened with a lot of people. A lot of people had that perception that they were going to have that. Obviously,
yes, there were people who expected that Buhari, the military Buhari.
But I'm not sure
I think
that
it was a selling point to some people.
Yeah, I'm not sure that happened. Especially, and I would say why I also say that was because, especially after he left, there are quite a number of people in his cabinet that it was so much corruption that was alleged to have happened when he was there as
Are you kidding me?
As what's he called?
We're shutting
as
down.
president. Please need to go quickly.
We're switching power. We'll be back in 10